What's up, everybody? It's something we all use every single day, probably without even thinking about it. Wi-Fi. I mean, it's just there, right? You click the icon, boom, connected. But have you ever stopped to think about how we got here? From the first clunky attempts at wireless networking to the lightning-fast speeds we have today, Wi-Fi has been on a wild ride of innovation. We're talking decades of engineering, countless breakthroughs, and a whole lot of competition pushing the limits of what's possible. So whether you're a tech enthusiast, a history buff, or just curious about the tech that powers your daily scroll, this one's for you. Get ready to explore the evolution of Wi-Fi, from its humble beginnings to the cutting-edge tech that's shaping the future. Our story begins back in 1971 in a place known more for its beaches than its technological breakthroughs, Hawaii. Picture this, the University of Hawaii, a bunch of researchers trying to connect computers across the islands without running cables across the Pacific Ocean. Talk about a challenge, right? That's where AlohaNet comes in. This pioneering system was the brainchild of Norman Abramson and his team. AlohaNet was all about sending data packets over radio waves, kind of like sending messages through the air. It was revolutionary for its time, but let me tell you, this wasn't your instant connection. We're talking super slow speeds, lots of interference, and definitely no streaming your favorite shows. But AlohaNet proved a crucial point. Wireless networking was possible. It was a pivotal moment, laying the foundation for everything that came after. Think of it like the first Wright Flyer. Sure, it wasn't a Boeing 747, but it proved that flying was possible. AlohaNet was that first step, that spark of innovation that ignited the whole wireless revolution. And just like those early days of aviation, the development of Wi-Fi wouldn't be without its turbulence. There were hurdles to overcome, regulations to navigate, and a whole lot of skepticism to silence. But the seeds of a wireless future had been sown. And over the next decade, things would start to get really interesting. Fast forward to 1985. The internet as we know it is still a distant dream, but the foundation for a wireless revolution is about to be laid. The FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, makes a decision that seems small at the time but ends up having massive consequences. They open up what are called the ISM bands. Now, I know what you're thinking. ISM bands sound super technical, but stay with me because this is crucial. The ISM bands are basically specific frequencies of radio waves that the FCC decided to open up for unlicensed use. Think of it like designating certain lanes on the highway for anyone to use, no special permit required. This was huge for wireless tech because before this, if you wanted to transmit anything wirelessly, you needed a license. That meant a ton of paperwork, fees, and waiting around. But with the ISM bands open, anyone with an idea and a knack for engineering could start experimenting, and experiment they did. Companies and inventors dove headfirst into these newly available frequencies, all trying to crack the code of reliable wireless communication. It was like the Wild West out there, with everyone vying for their shot at wireless glory. This free-for-all of innovation is exactly what the tech world needed. The open ISM bands meant that you didn't need to be a giant corporation with deep pockets to get in the game. It leveled the playing field, allowing smaller companies and independent inventors to make their mark. And as we'll see, this open environment would lead to some of the most important breakthroughs in Wi-Fi history. Because in just a few short years, a group of researchers on the other side of the globe would take these open frequencies and change the world as we know it. Our journey now takes us to the land down under Australia. While most people were busy jamming to Nirvana and rocking out to MC Hammer, a team of brilliant minds at CSIRO, Australia's national science agency, was quietly working on something that would change the world. Led by radio astronomer John O'Sullivan, they were tackling a problem that had plagued wireless tech for years: signal interference. See, radio waves, especially in those newly opened ISM bands, tend to bounce around. This creates echoes and distortions, making reliable wireless transmission a real pain. But O'Sullivan and his team had a breakthrough. They developed a technology that could effectively mitigate this interference, clearing the way for faster and more stable wireless connections. They called it, get ready for it, spread spectrum technology. It sounds complicated, and trust me, the science behind it is. But the basic idea is this. Instead of sending all the data on one frequency, they figured out how to spread it across multiple frequencies simultaneously. This was groundbreaking. It was like taking a crowded highway and magically adding a bunch of new lanes, making traffic jams a thing of the past. This invention, patented in 1996, formed the backbone of what we know as Wi-Fi today. But here's the thing about invention. They don't always start out with catchy names. And this tech, as revolutionary as it was still stuck with the not-so-user-friendly name EE802.11. Don't worry, a much catchier name is on the way. However, the impact of this technology was immediate. Companies around the world recognized its potential, and soon the race was on to incorporate this Aussie innovation into the next generation of wireless products. The world was about to get a whole lot more connected, and things were about to get very, very interesting. Very. The year is 1999. The world is on the brink of the new millennium, and tech is evolving at a dizzying pace. But there's a problem. IEE 802.11, while a mouthful, is still the name of the game for this new wireless tech. It's not exactly the easiest thing to market, is it? Enter the brand wizards. A group of tech companies, recognizing the need for something catchier, something that rolls off the tongue, comes together to form the Wireless LAN Alliance, later renamed the Wi-Fi Alliance. Their mission, simple: to give this revolutionary technology a brand name that sticks. And thus Wi-Fi was born. Short, memorable, and instantly recognizable, it was a stroke of marketing genius. But the Alliance didn't stop there. They also released the 802.11b standard, making Wi-Fi more practical and affordable for the average user. This was a pivotal moment. Wi-Fi was no longer just a cool tech demo for trade shows. It was becoming a product people could actually buy and use in their homes. The floodgates were officially open. Suddenly, homes and offices around the world were ditching their Ethernet cables and embracing the freedom of wireless connectivity. Remember those bulky desktop computers chained to their desks? Yeah. Wi-Fi was about to change all that, but this was just the beginning. The early 2000s would see Wi-Fi's popularity explode, becoming a staple in homes, coffee shops, and eventually our pockets. The world was becoming increasingly interconnected, all thanks to this little thing called Wi-Fi. The 2000s, the era of low-rise jeans, flip phones, and the explosion of Wi-Fi. It was everywhere. Homes, coffee shops, libraries, even some forward-thinking parks were hopping on the Wi-Fi bandwagon. The days of searching for an Ethernet port were fading into distant memory. And with this widespread adoption came a need for speed. 802.11b Wi-Fi, while groundbreaking at the time, was starting to show its limits. Streaming video was a pixelated dream, and online gaming, let's just say lag, was a constant companion. But the tech world, never one to rest on its laurels, was already hard at work on the next generation. Enter 802.11g and later 802.11n, offering significantly faster speeds and greater range. We're talking a quantum leap in performance. Suddenly, streaming video became a reality. Online gaming got a whole lot smoother, and those buffering icons that used to haunt our internet sessions, they were starting to become a less frequent annoyance. This era was all about democratizing access to information and entertainment. Wi-Fi wasn't just a luxury anymore, it was becoming a necessity. And as more and more devices became Wi-Fi enabled, from laptops to gaming consoles to early smartphones, the demand for faster, more reliable connections only continued to grow. The stage was set for the next chapter in the Wi-Fi saga, one that would see this technology evolve from a convenient perk to an indispensable part of our daily lives. The future of connectivity was being written, one wireless connection at a time. The 2010s, the decade of the smartphone, the App Store, and the rise of the Internet of Things. Our devices were getting smaller, smarter, and more connected than ever before. And at the heart of this interconnected revolution was, you guessed it, Wi-Fi. But these new devices, with their power-hungry apps and on-the-go lifestyles, demanded more from their wireless connections. Enter 802.11 at, the latest and greatest Wi-Fi standard at the time. This was all about speed, efficiency, and handling the ever-increasing demands of our digitally connected lives. Suddenly, we're talking gigabit speeds, seamless streaming on multiple devices, and enough bandwidth to power even the most demanding mobile games. Wi-Fi wasn't just about connecting to the internet anymore. It was about creating a seamless, always-on experience across all our devices. And as our homes filled with smart devices, thermostats, security cameras, even refrigerators with touchscreens, Wi-Fi became the invisible thread connecting it all. It was the backbone of the smart home, enabling a level of convenience and automation we could only dream of a decade earlier. But the story doesn't end there. As our reliance on Wi-Fi grew, so too did the demands we placed upon it. We were entering the era of 4K streaming, cloud gaming, and virtual reality experiences that pushed the limits of even the fastest home networks. And once again, the engineers and innovators rose to the challenge, developing Wi-Fi 6 and soon Wi-Fi 7, promising even faster speeds, lower latency, and the ability to handle the ever-growing number of connected devices vying for bandwidth. Welcome to the era of Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 7, where speed, efficiency, and low latency reign supreme. We're talking about a whole new level of performance designed to handle the demands of our increasingly connected lives. Remember those days of buffering videos and laggy online games? Yeah, Wi-Fi 6 and 7 are here to make those distant memories. Wi-Fi 6, officially launched in 2019, brought with it a whole bag of tricks. We've got MU-MIMO, OFDMA, 1024QAM, acronyms that might sound like alphabet soup but translate to blazing fast speeds, even in crowded network environments. Imagine a world where dozens of devices are all connected and streaming in 4K without breaking a sweat. That's the promise of Wi-Fi 6. And just when we thought it couldn't get any better, along comes Wi-Fi 7, poised to hit the market in 2024. We're talking even faster speeds, lower latency, and a level of efficiency that will make your smart home sing. Imagine downloading a 4K movie in seconds, experiencing lag-free VR gaming, and having all your smart devices running smoothly. That's the future Wi-Fi 7 is building. But it's not just about speed. These new Wi-Fi standards are all about handling the ever-increasing number of connected devices in our homes. With the Internet of Things exploding, we're not talking about just laptops and smartphones anymore. We're talking smart refrigerators, security cameras, doorbells, light bulbs, even our toothbrushes are getting in on the connected action. Wi-Fi 6 and 7 are designed to handle this onslaught of devices without breaking a sweat. They're like the conductors of a high-tech orchestra, ensuring each device gets the bandwidth it needs without missing a beat. And as we move towards a future of even more connected devices, from self-driving cars to smart cities, the importance of fast, reliable Wi-Fi will only continue to grow. So we've journeyed through the history of Wi-Fi, from those early days of Allahanet to the blazing fast speeds of Wi-Fi 6 and the upcoming revolution of Wi-Fi 7. But the story doesn't end here. In fact, the future of Wi-Fi is looking more exciting than ever. We're on the cusp of even faster speeds with 6 GHz Wi-Fi, opening up a whole new lane on the wireless highway. Imagine a world where multi-gigabit speeds are the norm, where downloading a movie takes seconds and streaming 8K VR experiences is as smooth as silk. But it's not just about raw speed. The future of Wi-Fi is also about intelligence. AI-driven network optimization will anticipate our needs, allocating bandwidth and prioritizing traffic to ensure a seamless experience, no matter how many devices are fighting for their slice of the digital pie. And for those in remote areas or underserved communities, the future of Wi-Fi could be beamed down from space. Satellite-based Wi-Fi networks promise to bridge the digital divide, bringing high-speed internet access to even the most remote corners of the globe. The possibilities are truly endless. Imagine a world where Wi-Fi is as ubiquitous as air, where we're always connected to a fast, reliable network, no matter where we are. It's a future where our homes are smarter, our cities are more efficient, and the barriers to information and opportunity are lowered for everyone. The journey of Wi-Fi has been nothing short of remarkable. From those early experiments in Hawaii to the global phenomenon it is today, Wi-Fi has transformed the way we live, work, and connect. From those early days of Allahanet to the mind-blowing potential of Wi-Fi 7 and beyond, it's clear that Wi-Fi has revolutionized our world. It's the invisible force connecting us, empowering us to learn, create, and share like never before. So the next time you effortlessly connect to Wi-Fi, take a moment to appreciate the decades of innovation and the countless minds that made it all possible. And as we venture further into the digital age, one thing is certain: the future of Wi-Fi is bright, and it's only going to get faster, smarter, and more connected from here. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the history of Wi-Fi. Stay tuned for more tech insights and